Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey Combs, More Heart Than Talent Mindset Call. That was the original title of this back in 2000. So good to be here with you on Facebook Live. I'm going to add a comment here. So let's see, there's a way to create a notification so people see that I'm online. Just about have it here. Good to be here with you this afternoon. Jeffrey Combs, Facebook Live. Okay, there we go. We are ready to produce results in a relaxed body this afternoon. It is Tuesday. It'll be a 2 for Tuesday. I'll be back here online late tonight at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Pacific. And the topic for today's Facebook Live is the power within you. And the power within you is your ability to be and stay in a relaxed body. Your power is your belief. That's your sense of certainty. And your power comes from your ability to separate your feelings from anxiety, fear, and doubt, and then focus on the solution. And when you're in that energy, when you're in the solution energy, and when you're able to be resourceful, you're able to adapt and adjust, you're able to create results in a relaxed body, you're focused on service and value, this becomes your power. Your force is anxiety, fear, and doubt, getting ready to get ready, which leads to procrastination and avoidance. And force comes from disappointment, frustration, trauma, all the events that have shaped the feelings that keep you in the neurological network of neurons that wire and fire, that form feelings that are emotions, and the emotions that will keep you in doubt and force are the anger family: anger, hate, frustration, disappointment, rage, and resentment, abandonment and rejection, overwhelmed feelings, grief, apathy, and pride. That's the network of neurons that wire and fire that form the feelings of anxiety, fear, and specifically doubt. That will lead to force. You'll try and force yourself to do something you don't want to do. This creates focus issues. This creates distractions. This creates avoidance and procrastination tendencies. When you are purpose-inspired, when you're purpose-driven, when you have a routine, a method, a system that you do over and over, and it doesn't feel boring, it doesn't feel forced, then you'll relax into that business or that modality of whatever it is you're doing. And when it's not forced, you're in your power. And power comes from meaning. It comes from purpose. It comes from self-esteem. And when you're in that level of energy, you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. You're in your flow. Your power is your purpose. It's your inspiration. It's your flow. It's your ability to transcend where you are from here as you overcome your doubt and you're now in your purpose, your inspiration. Then you're not avoiding your own business. You're not avoiding life. You're able to go to a 12-step meeting without telling yourself a story about it. What many people do is they tell a story about an outcome that hasn't happened. So this comes from people who are negative, people who are condescending, people who are skeptical. So the skepticism that people have, they'll continue to attract to the reality, people and situations to fulfill their feelings. When you are in your power, you're in a state of flow, and that state of flow is effortless, and that effortlessness is charisma. It's love, joy, it's bliss, it's enlightenment, you're passionate, and this energy ebbs and flows off of you, and people feel it, and that's the charisma that you feel. That's the posture that they feel. And that also comes when you're anchored in your belief, your certainty, and when you're certain in yourself, you will not fail because you'll stay the course. When you're uncertain, you'll find excuses to fail. And then you'll say, see, this always happens to me. And unfortunately, that's what happens to a large percent of society. They fail to execute because they fail to believe. And when your belief is low, you'll create avoidance and procrastination tendencies. When your belief is high, you'll produce results in a relaxed body. You'll finish days out. You'll feel inspired in what you do and who you're being. You're able to breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body. And in that letting go process, it becomes effortless. And so when letting go becomes a skill and it's effortless, you're in the flow of it. And it's that flow that creates the hand-free zone. It's prosperity, prospero. And when you're in that level of flow, people are going to buy from you, join you, be part of your culture, whatever it is you're doing. They're going to stop they'll see you on the side, they'll see you working on your property, and they'll stop on the side of the road and converse with you. This is power. Force is when you're in your own emotional negativity. You're telling yourself stories. When you're in your power, it's effortless, it's ease, it's flowing, and people feel it. They want to buy from you. They want to be a part of you. And when you're in that state of consciousness, you can walk into a restaurant and people feel you. It's also called posture, swag, juice, edge. There's many synonyms for it. And when it comes from humility, there's no arrogance. There's no ego in it. And it's that true humility that you're able to just be in that flow state. In that flow state, it's like this. There's an ebb and a flow to life for you. And people begin to show up differently. When you're struggling in trauma, drama, chaos, in a money mindset that's lack, scarcity, poverty, in an overwhelmed state, well, then you're going to have challenges. But when you're in the ebb and the flow of business, it's in business and life, it comes to you more easily and effortlessly. And that is called power. One of the greatest books ever written is called Power versus Force, written in 1996 by the late David Hawkins. The chapter that I have read over and over in that book is called The Source of Power, and it breaks down the separation between force and power. Force has to have a counterforce. Power stands alone. Power is ease, it's effortless. Force pushes against, it's an opposition. Force has to have a winner and a loser. It's black and it's white. It opposes each other. And it goes like this. And in force, enemies are created because someone has to be wrong in a force counterforce relationship. And they're polar opposites. And the agenda creates a situation, so they create that opposition. And then if you play athletics, you've been groomed from the time you picked up your first ball, your first baseball, your soccer ball, lacrosse, volleyball, whatever ball you picked up. That's the gladiator system. And if you go back all the way through the annals of time, through the Roman times, Grecian times, and you go all the way back biblically, the gladiator and the man on the field. So the gladiator system is there was a winner and a loser. And going all the way back there to that time, AD and after D, you'll see that they're in that gladiator system. This is how sports is created. Olympic sports are created from it, and there's a winner and a loser. And then you've also been groomed to practice hard. And so it was a really hard practice. It was a grueling practice. We sweated our ass off. I mean, there's all this sports vernacular. If you're a Notre Dame fan in the tunnel, you're slapping, there's a sign that says play like a champion. And then in sports, there's also rivals. And so your rival is like when Iowa plays Iowa State or Michigan plays Ohio State. These are rivals. And Keith Jackson from way back in the days when I was a child, he would say, oh, golly, it's going to be a barn burner. And this is when Crosstown Rivals, now I know Jeff, if he is watching, Crosstown Rivals was UCLA and USC were playing on Saturday. And the fall season, the pigskin, I mean, all this lore, the World Series, and all of this is the gladiator system. When broken down, when you start to understand a baseball field is the cipher from Freemasonry upside down, and you start to understand the Super Bowl, and then you see that in the Super Bowl, at these Super Bowls, now you have all these stars that we idolize, idolatry, and they come from the 13 fallen angels, when you start to really understand what this all means, you go, I'm not following this system anymore. I am done with this force system, the gladiator system. I'm going to live in my power. I'm not going to running a marathon. I'm a track star in high school. I ran real track in high school. I'm not one of these guys that runs 5Ks and 10Ks in my 50s. I did that in high school. I have 2 state track medals from the state of Iowa. So, I saw Steve Prefontaine run 2 times when he was a freshman at University of Oregon. And I met Bruce Jenner when he was Bruce Jenner. He was a high jumper at a college in Iowa called Graceland. And I used to go to a top-tier track meet in Des Moines, Iowa called the Drake Relays. So I saw world-class track athletes. And so when they're going for the gold, this is all part of the force that so you're conditioned to break your body down to go for the gold. You're conditioned to do superhuman effort. Well, that doesn't work in business. That's not how we do. This is what we do, and it's completely irrelevant to being able to be in your power. Because when you're in this force field and you're forcing yourself to do something, you're creating your own opposition in yourself, and the body can break down. The body injures itself. The body is not made to do some of these grueling tasks that we're led to believe will make us a man or a woman. I have a 20-minute exercise routine. It's on a spin bike. It's low impact. I do 100 push-ups. I'm 69 years old. I can duplicate that. And if I can't do it on the spin bike, I can walk in an airport. I can walk for 20 minutes. I can take a stopwatch with me. I can duplicate my exercise anywhere I go in the world. Between planes between going to Sydney to Perth, Australia, I walked 20 minutes in an airport with my stopwatch. That was my exercise for the day. And over there in the corner, I did 100 push-ups where no one was watching. That was power. That can be duplicated. That wasn't force. And so when you begin to live in your power, you'll begin to attract other seekers of that energy, that charisma, that white light energy that transcends, the energy that people feel love and joy from, not the forced energy, not the edgy edge energy, the energy of power, the energy of love that transcends, that people feel and want to be a part of. They want to join because they're buying from you. And the more that you live in your power, the less you'll be in your force. The more that you live in your power, the more you'll be in higher consciousness. The less you live in your power, the more you'll be in your analytical, egoic mind, processing, thinking, rationalizing, and most importantly, rebelling against your own success. That's what force is. Many people will say to me, well, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I have all this talent, and I see Susie do it, and I see her doing it. I see Diane doing it. But what's wrong with me? Well, it's not what's wrong with you. It's you understand that you're addicted to disappointment. And until you can grasp that reality, you'll just continue to live in the analytical, egoic mind saying, well, this doesn't make sense. Well, that is force. Force doesn't make sense. Force has to have an opposition. And if you don't have someone to violate you, you'll violate yourself so that you can fulfill the neurochemical craving of being disappointed. And then you go, this always happens to me. Of course it does, because you project it. And when you project it, you predict it. And when you predict it, then you get to be right. And when you let go of being right and being righteous, then you'll start to live in your power. And that power that you seek to live in is love, joy, bliss. It's enlightenment. It's understanding. It's knowing. It's awareness. It's certainty. It's belief. It's trust. Trust is a major topic that I cover with a lot of clients. A lot of my clients will say they can't trust anyone. I will ask them, well, what does that relegate you to? If you can't trust anyone, what does that even mean? So typically that's going to be a byproduct of incestual trauma, sexual abuse inside of a family, physical abuse inside of a family. I understand. I've been coaching it for 28 years, living it for 38 and 69, 38 in sobriety, 69 in life, assisting myself and others to let go of sexual trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, generational trauma that people hold on to, that the body holds on to unconsciously, which is what will create repressed, suppressed feelings, which leads to force, not power. My name is Jeffery Combs, president and founder at Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Thank you, Diane, for pointing it out to me. Jeff Avia, always good to see you. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body. Jeff Avia, I want to show you one thing. Jeff Avia, there's Cooper DeJean, my boy Cooper DeJean, who I just got in today. who is a pride and joy of Odie Bolt Arthur. So I'm an Iowa native, and that's where Cooper DeJean is from. He long jumped 24 feet and had a 42-inch vertical. That is off the charts, and that's like, is that possible? Is that possible that this young man from this little tiny town who intercepted a pass in the Super Bowl of 2025, and what was Cooper DeJean's number? Of course, 33. And what was his number at Iowa? Oh, yes, 3. How many interceptions did he return for touchdowns his junior year? That would be 3. I mean, so there's 3, 3, and 3. And who is his favorite player in basketball? That would be Kobe Bryant. Well, Kobe Bryant wore number 8. That would be Lionsgate. Kobe Bryant also wore number 24. 2 plus 4 equals, that's correct, 6. And when Cooper DeJean crossed the goal line in the Super Bowl of 2025, the score was 24-0, and he scored with 1 minute and 24 seconds. How is this possible? I'll let you figure it out, but I'll tell you this, it's called the Gematria Code. And if you understand that, then you, my friend, are in the know, in the now. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body.